Season 13 of Disney Speedstorm is here, and we have a ton of new content to go over. We have 3 brand new Big Hero 6 characters, a new track, new events, and more. So without further ado, let's hop straight into it, starting off by taking a look at the brand new collection in the game. We have, of course, the Big Hero 6 collection with 3 new characters, those being Hiro, Baymax, and Honey Lemon. Just a brief overview of all the characters. I will play as Hiro and Honey Lemon later on in the video, but Hiro is an epic trickster. He is going to be the Golden Pass racer for part 1 of the season, which means if you want to obtain Hiro, you're going to have to purchase the Golden Pass right now. To obtain Baymax, he's going to be an epic brawler and is going to be the part 2 Golden Pass character, so we are going to have to wait until next month, the second part of the Big Hero 6 season, in order to fully obtain Baymax. And then Honey Lemon is going to be the free / season tour character, which means we can get her by playing through the season tour. If you guys are curious and want a full guide on how to unlock Honey Lemon, just stay tuned because things are a little bit different this season. She's going to start out really challenging to unlock and then slowly get easier to the point where everyone can unlock her, and I'll have a full guide on how to obtain Honey Lemon later on today. But moving on to some other interesting news, we have confirmed mid-season character. As you can see right here in the Sleeping Beauty selection, Aurora is right there, and she is also in Chapter 6 of the season tour, which means we have full confirmation that Aurora is coming to Disney Speedstorm, which is super exciting stuff. I believe she is somewhere like up here. Yep, there you go. You need Aurora at level 30 in order to complete Node 28 of Chapter 6 in the season tour, which again is just confirmation that she is coming in this part. Super excited to race as Aurora later on down the line. Let me know what you guys think. I personally am so hyped that she is the mid-season character this season. Alrighty, here we are in our first race though. This is the first node of the season tour where you get to play as Hiro as a guest racer and you get to race through San Francisco. Guys, I gotta say this map is really impressive. I love driving on this track already. It's so fun, it's so bright and colorful and vibrant. But to talk a little bit about Hiro, he has this really interesting passive ability where these blueprints are going to spawn in front of you on the track. As you can see right here, that's a blueprint on the ground, and when you pick it up, it's going to give you a little speed boost forward and a nice little boost, and it also collects. As you can see, I have 2 blueprints behind me, and these blueprints do a few different things. Using his charged ability really quick though, you can see it gives me a boost forward and adds this booster jet to the back of my car, which is going to permanently increase my top speed for the rest of the race. So Hiro has a very interesting ability. His charged, which I just used, is going to increase your top speed permanently, which is honestly a really interesting ability, something we haven't seen in a character in Disney Speedstorm before, and I really like the idea that Hiro's driving through and upgrading his own cart. But to use his normal activation, it's going to consume all of our blueprints, and for every blueprint that we have collected, it's going to use a random ability, which is very interesting. It's kind of reminiscent of like Genie or Anxiety, where you're just kind of spamming through power-ups, and if you've collected a lot of blueprints, it can be really powerful. But here I'm going to use his charged activation again, and it's going to give me a second booster rocket, which is going to increase my top speed even further. Again, such an interesting and unique ability, and I think Hiro has a lot of potential to be a powerful character. Unfortunately, his top speed is really low. He has one of the lowest base top speeds in the game. However, being able to upgrade his cart throughout the duration of the match could make him very powerful, because even though he starts out slow, I think he has a lot of comeback potential after you collect a lot of blueprints. You know, you're going to be getting those speed boosts slowly throughout the game, and you can use them all in the finale, you know, to get yourself a bunch of power-ups like I just did, like using 2 cloaks back to back, a shield, a fire skill. There's a lot of potential with Hiro, and I think he has one of the most unique kits in Disney Speedstorm, and I love that they're promoting these more unique playstyles. But let me know what you guys think of Hiro. Are you going to be purchasing the Golden Pass? Honestly, this season, I think it's definitely worth it, especially the Diamond Pass, simply because of the characters that you get to choose to max out. I don't know, I already chose my character, so I don't know if it's going to let me look at them again right here in the max out. Nope, do not buy the tiers. Yeah, so you can see the 5 max out characters that you get to pick from this season are Goofy, Daisy, Jafar, Ursula, and Eve. Way better choices than the parts that we had last season, because one, Eve and Daisy are mid-season characters, which means their shards are going to be incredibly difficult to come by, so it's super cool that they're letting us choose to max them out. And then Ursula is an epic racer, and the only common one is Daisy, who's a mid-season one, whereas last season it was mostly common racers, easy to obtain characters, but now we have some really high value characters, and like if you purchase the Diamond Pass and you don't have Eve unlocked, getting her straight to level 50 is so strong. Like that is just an insane amount of value you're getting with the Diamond Pass, plus you're getting Hiro, which is a really unique and fun character. So like of all the Golden Passes to purchase, this is honestly a pretty good one. I would recommend. And then if you're not going to purchase the Golden Pass, we have another really interesting thing happening this season, where now since seasons are only going to feature 3 new racers, the free character is actually going to be an old racer. So if you do not have Bell unlocked, this is your lucky day, as there are lots of Bell shards up for grabs this season. As you can see, tier 1 you get 6 Bell shards, tier 5 you're going to get 6 more, and just all throughout the free Golden Pass, you're going to get tons and tons of Bell shards, which is really, really nice if you do not have her unlocked. For those who do have Bell unlocked though, it does feel kind of bad that they're taking one of the new characters that we used to get, locking them behind a paywall or just not introducing them at all, and then introducing an old racer that some people may already have unlocked. But either way, it's still a really good chance to level up your Beauty and the Beast collection. And then next season with part 2 with Baymax, instead of Belle, it's going to be Elsa. So again, if you don't have Elsa unlocked, it's going to be lucky for you. You're going to get a ton of shards for her. On top of that, the season-long limited event is now a Life of Adventure, which is going to feature Belle and Gaston. Honestly, this event is pretty good. You can earn a lot of great stuff in these capsules. The Gaston repeatable one is going to give you a mix of Big Hero 6 shards, as well as Beauty and the Beast shards, featuring some mid-season crew members as well, which I think is really cool, because getting shards for like LeFou, Gaston's cronies, Gaston himself, and Claudette, Laurette, and Paulette is a very, very difficult task. So I think it's super cool that they're giving us the opportunity to fully get those. And then the Belle repeatable capsule is not quite as good, but you can still get Marie shards, Belle shards, and some other Beauty and the Beast, as well as Big Hero 6 shards. So still a very good limited event that you're going to be wanting to play every day. That way you can level up your Beauty and the Beast and Big Hero 6 collection. But now let's go ahead and jump into a second race with Honey Lemon. Here we are in our next race now. Now guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty underwhelmed by Honey Lemon's kit. A lot of it just feels not super strong, and overall she's just a trickster with a low top speed and an ability that is not going to help cover that weakness, which I think is just a recipe for disaster personally. To take a look at her unique ability here, we're going to use the charged activation first, and what it's going to do is throw this suitcase behind us, which is going to reduce the vision of all opponents behind us, as well as give us invulnerability, which is not like a terrible thing. You know, it's not like the worst ability in the world, but generally reducing vision abilities are just not super effective. Like, they're not going to be, you know, stunning people, they're not going to be slowing them down, it's just going to stop them from driving correctly. And while it can be really effective against AIs, if you're in ranked multiplayer playing against people who know the tracks and know what they're doing, it's not going to be the most effective way to slow them down, so that's already disappointing. But then to talk about her normal activation, it really just feels like Jack Skellington's, where she throws a bunch of things in front of her and they're going to have a bunch of different effects on people. One is going to slow them down, another one's going to take away their steering, and another one's just going to straight up stun them. So not bad by any means, and obviously as you level up her unique ability, it's going to give you a lot more like projectiles on the ground. But in its current state at level 1, it definitely feels very underwhelming, and Honey Lemon just doesn't seem like a great racer. Honestly, based off initial impressions, I would probably say C tier, maybe D tier. Not doing it for me personally. And then Hiro, Again, I think he has a lot of potential. I think he's going to be a very high skill character, but overall I would say I wouldn't put him much higher than B tier. So we're gonna have to see where Baymax ends up on the tier list. But overall, the Big Hero 6 collection doesn't seem like the strongest collection in the world. Again, I think Hiro does have a lot of potential, but I am pretty underwhelmed by Honey Lemon's abilities, but she is still definitely a fun racer to play, and I'm excited to see once I level her up a little bit how strong she ends up being. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into the San Francisco Cup while I talk about another new feature coming into Season 13 of Disney Speedstorm that currently is not in the game yet, but we are getting a new daily login calendar, and the way they described it in past updates, I've talked about it a little bit, but we really didn't know what was coming. In fact, they described it a little misleadingly, but basically what this festivity calendar is going to be is starting next week, there's going to be a daily login calendar in the game that's going to, summarize different events basically. So like it might last a week for just like whatever holiday or event is going on, and every day you log in you are going to get different rewards. So pretty much it's just a login calendar where every single day you have the chance to get more rewards, which I think is really good. It's going to promote people to check in on Disney Speedstorm every day. Even though there's already so many daily tasks, it just adds another little bit where you get to log in once every day and just instantly claim a new reward, which I think is really, really nice. And it just, helps people stay engaged with more events, which I think Disney Speedstorm is really leaning into this season, especially when you consider the fact that we're getting these new Lilo and Stitch events where people are actually going to compete against each other, and Stitch is going to be taking over like multiplayer events, and it's really our first limited event in Disney Speedstorm where we're getting to play against each other and work up these different milestones. And overall, it's still a little confusing. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but it does seem to be very unique, and I'm glad they're just stepping outside their comfort zone and trying different stuff with these new events and this new festivity calendar, and it looks like it's going to be really fun, and I'm excited to see how season 13 turns out and what these events are going to fully look like in game. I believe our first of these new takeover events is going to be the Lilo and Stitch one. Obviously, there's a chance we could get another one before that, but considering the Lilo and Stitch live action movie is releasing in about 2 weeks or so, I would be surprised if we get another one of these events before that. And then of course next week is going to be the full festivity calendar starting. We'll have to see what they're celebrating with the calendar and what kind of rewards we're getting, but hopefully it's some good stuff. And yeah, there is a chance there could be a premium festivity calendar too. There's been some leaks discussing that. Personally, I'm against that. I think it just, rewards that everyone can claim without tempting people into purchases would be nice. We have enough things that you can buy in Disney Speedstorm that a daily login calendar, a premium version of it, is just not necessary, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that Gameloft implements. But there you guys have it. Season 13 is off to a great start. We have a lot of stuff to look forward to this season with things like the release of Baymax, obviously Aurora coming to the game, a second mid-season character that we don't know yet. My bets are either on Cinderella, which I think is more likely, or Prince Philip. I think he could definitely happen as well. And there are a lot of new leaked characters, which I will be discussing in a future video, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But let me know what you guys think of the new characters so far and everything added in Season 13. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out, everybody.